All right, let's get into it now. So you pick PA. Do you play PA a lot?
No, I don't actually. It's a hero I just reviewed. Um, Purge did a
Purge, yeah.
build that.
Vanguard as well.
Yeah, so you recognize the build.
Yeah, yeah, it's my build.
Oh, really? Okay.
I
Yeah, it
play.
it seems it seems like a very strong build, and I never really considered. I think Desolator is a really amazing item on PA,
Yeah, it
but
is.
then you have to think about the sustain, and I don't think Vlad's is a great choice on her. Like,
But yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, so like if you look at the Vlad's Desolator build,
Mm.
it's just Vlad's doesn't do enough on her. I think for the cost and for the slot.
You can't go for the same build every single game. It that just doesn't work. The reason why Vanguard Deso is so good is because it fits in most situations and it provides sustain as well as damage.
Right.
But most games, so most games, maybe 70%, 60% of the games, it's going to work, but it doesn't always work. So that's something to know. Also, before Desolator, the going build or a niche build which was extremely strong was a medallion build, which people didn't actually catch on to. But that's also, if you play PA a lot, that's also
Places,
something
everyone.
PA players will know. One thing that I would suggest to you if you're learning, if you try to learn Dota, is if you try to learn and improve and gain MMR, is try to stick to a specific hero pool. So recognize what your strengths and weaknesses are, and pick heroes which are which are your strengths basically. Like that friend I told you about, he likes jumping into enemies a lot. So for him, um, Axe, Tide, this kind of Earthshaker, these kind of heroes suit him more. That's akin to his personality. So you should recognize what heroes are suited to your personality and your play style, and you should play those. And not just that, but also you need to limit your hero pool if you want to improve as a player. The issue is that if you are like sub 5K ish, then there's a lot of in-game mechanics that you need to learn, and need to practice basically. And if you're constantly changing heroes, then what you're doing is you have to learn huge set of mechanics for the game, and then you have to learn a huge set of mechanics for your hero as well. So it's better
Yeah.
if you so it's better if you play like a few heroes, so you know those heroes inside and out. There, you have the perfect feel for them. How much you can push them, how aggressive you can be, or defensive and whatnot, so that's at least second nature to you, and you're just learning the game, then the mechanics of the game, and when to push. And
That's why I play generally simple heroes. Like I play Wraith King. I used to play Lich. Um, but heroes that are fairly simple. I don't have super complex mechanics because I feel like I'm not mechanically a super strong player, and so
okay,
if I focus on heroes that are fairly simple to play,
yeah,
um, it helps
that
me play a lot better.
that's actually very, very good strategy, and there's something I tell all of my students as well. That's the perfect thing to do. That's very good thing to
Okay.
do. um, So your starting item build, pretty decent. So what do you want to think before every single game, is what are you going to be laning against? So most likely it's a storm mid. Um, what's his name? Alchemist carry, and these two are going to be support plus jungle roaming type thing, CM. And then you're up against a Windrunner only, which is a ranged hero. She has a high damage,
Yeah, that's why
high
I went
rank.
with the stout shield rather
Okay,
than
perfect.
the flame blade.
And the ring of protection.
Hmm.
So that's very good. And you're probably looking to upgrade this into a Aquila, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. PA doesn't really have that many mana issues, and like Aquila does enough for her for the rest of the game. She's never gonna need any more mana after
Right.
Aquila.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But if you don't have the Aquila, it's much
It's
harder.
a
30
little
seconds to
bit.
go.
It's like it's not that. Well, I've never not made Aquila on PA, to be honest. I would well. You either make Aquila or you make Vlad's, which is kind of like the same.
Right. Yeah. No,
It's
it's the
about the
same.
same.
It's the same static mana.
Yeah, exactly. So okay.
The game is on.
Small thing I would suggest is go here instead of going straight here. just to
Okay,
make
wait,
sure
show me
that
that again.
This should be.
um, you're gonna have to look at my mouse
Yeah,
as this lovely client. Okay, so just go here and stand around here just in case the
to
windrunner
prevent
wants to
the
come in.
ward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, this is the first time somebody's actually got the starting items that are perfect. Or it might be because you watched the Purge video. Is that the
Yeah.
starting items? Okay,
Showtime.
Yeah.
that's probably why.
Well, he recommended the ring of protection, the two the tangos and the salve, and then basically if you feel that you if you want to play safe, you get the stout shield. If you want to play sort of more aggressive, you get the quelling blade, and then you just pick up the other one. The
Okay, a
OSF.
little thing that you should know, small thing you should know is that if you are sure that you're gonna be damaged, harassed in the lane, for example, if it's a range hero or something like that, or it's a dual lane,
Yeah,
then yeah, then this build is fine. But if it wasn't a windrunner, if it let's say that it was a void, then you should have just left the ring of protection out, and then you
and
can get
quelling
a
blade to outlast hit the void.
yeah, well, you start off with a Quelling Blade and you get the Stout Shield at the very start before the creeps even meet from the side shop. So you end up having a Quelling Blade, a Stout Shield, and these two items. So you just the only difference is you don't have Ring of
And
Protection.
here we go.
But otherwise, yeah, your starting item is perfectly fine. And also one more thing, um, something people don't hugely undervalue is if you don't know if you're playing a new hero you haven't played in a while, then what you can do is you can go here. Lovely API is not working. You can go here and whichever hero you want to, like you suddenly pick something or random something and you don't know what are the good item builds. So when you click on that hero, you go here, you click more guides, and then these are some high level players. This is constantly updated. Like this is 3 days ago, and it will usually be like a maximum of 3 4 days ago as well. So it's really updated. So now you can see like what. So this guy went safe lane. He had Iron Talon and Tango. Like you don't really need to go into too much detail in this. What I usually like to do is just go for like what is the starting item most people go for, so you can like see okay this is the same as yours, and in here the offlaner was Beastmaster, which who does with the boars, or wait, it's ah that's confusing. I don't know who the offlaner is here. Could have been a viewer. Anyway, yeah, he does expect to get harassed. So this is something you should know. Like, you what starting items people are usually going for any hero, and that just gives you like a bit of a idea of what you can go on your hero. If you have no idea, like you don't practice that person a lot.
Cool. Yeah, I'm familiar with that section of Dota buff. I
Okay.
also use Yasp.
Yeah,
Uh,
yes, is pretty good as well. So if you know these things, just interrupt me. Just interrupt me right away
okay.
and let me know. Yeah. Okay. Again, a very small thing, and especially because you watch Purge's videos, so you should know that. Whatever hero you're playing, unless it's a huge mana cost spell, something like Stifling Dagger, you should just throw it out at the start of the game, and start very early on because you want that mana region, the natural mana region, to start,
Got it.
and it damages them as well. So it's just a small, very small thing. All right, now you pick up the thingy. So you don't really have a normal support per se, even though there is a Lich, but obviously he's gone because you guys have two carries. I mean, that's 3K bracket. What are you gonna do?
Right.
So yeah, but this guy is doing a pretty good job zoning out the windrunner. So you have a pretty much free farm lane so far, and you should have. I maximum you can get is 72. You probably know that. CS
At
in
10?
your lane at 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, but you
50
can.
is 50 is usually like if I get 50 at 10, I'm doing really
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. 100%. If you get 50, that's really good. But you can get more than 72 if you side pull this big camp. Do you know how to do that and how that goes?
Not really.
Okay. I will Right. Let me write that down. I will link you a video Where is the pen? There we go. Link to full site camp. What you basically do is you, after about minute 4 ish, you start pushing out this lane. Or if you see that you guys are unable to zone out the off laner, then there's no point keeping the creep equilibrium. Actually, you've already pushed out the creep equilibrium a little bit. It should be right next to your close to your tower. But anyway,
Hmm.
what you do is you start pushing out this lane. You clear out this clear out this creep wave as soon as possible. You go onto the side camp if you've got a hero who can deal with the jungle. So Slark is really good because his Dark Pact. He can do it at level 6 though. His Dark Pact allows him to farm these side camp really quickly. PA is really good because you put 2 points in evasion. Excuse me. You put 2 points in evasion. You've got what do you call it, Aquila, so she's not going to take any damage from the creeps. Also, you're probably going to have a ring of health as well, maybe. I don't know, let's see what happens in 4 minutes. And you can easily farm this side camp, and even before that, what you can do is you can just at 23 and 53 seconds you can pull it here. You double stack it, and like, even if your support is supposed to do this, but at 3k your support is never going to know how to do it. So what you can do is you can do it yourself. You pull the creeps. You deny the offlaner the entire creep wave, one creep wave per every minute, and you again push out the next creep wave, and you take some of the farm from the side camp, and that actually you can easily get 90 or more CS in lane if you have perfect last hitting.
Okay.
But even if you don't have perfect last hitting, you're gonna end up easily more than 50 CS, because it's going to be more gold as well, because side camp big creeps are worth twice as much. So anyway, so far you're doing pretty well. Okay, so small thing here. Um, you are not being harassed. This guy is not going on you. Nobody is harassing you, but you are constantly harassing him. So you should recognize this. What you are lacking right now is not movement speed, damage, anything like that. You're lacking mana right now. So what you should have done is, with your first 325 gold, you should have gotten that.
Sage's
So
Mask.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
instead
Gotcha.
of getting the extra damage, because you don't need it. He's not stopping you from farming or harassing you. You don't really have kill potential on him at all.
Yeah, Wind Ranger is just so hard to kill. I feel like the mana cost on her escape is just so low that.
Yeah. Well, you need a stun. You need like a long duration, like a Rasta or something, or maybe two supports to deal with that. So, and with your stifling dagger, you can keep her outside your farming zone, so she doesn't actually come and deny or harass you. So, but now you're nearly out of mana. So
Right. So if I'd had the Sage's Mask, I would have
yeah,
been able to keep harassing better
yeah.
and blink and threaten with the blink strike.
Well, you probably don't want to do that because it's going to be a waste of mana, simply because she's just going to phase. No, not phase. We run away. So skip ahead a little bit more. But you're doing pretty well in this lane so far. It's quite an easy lane.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a hard lane.
Now you've got your what do you call it?
Stacy.
Basilisk, yeah. So now you should be able to spam that dagger quite healthily. All right, so I haven't noticed you checking his items at all. That's
Okay.
something you should be doing.
Gotcha.
Simply because information is, key. That's why you put observer wards and all that. You need to know if the guy has any regen. If he has, when you click him, you want to see his items and you want to see his mana. If he has very low mana, you want to bait out a win run. If you bait out a win run and she ends up with 0 mana, the next time, or four, was it? Okay, it's level 1. So let's say this was level 3 or level 2 even. So the next 10 seconds, you can blink on her and, maybe send her back to lane or maybe kill her potentially, because she's not going to have win run. But you definitely need to be clicking on the person to know what she's got.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, That's one of those things that theoretically I know. I just
No, yeah, that's practice. Like this is a small thing. These are all small things. Obviously, this is an easy lane, so you haven't made any big mistakes yet. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Oh wow! Now you've got
I was slow there. I
oh
think
my god, that's sad.
we end up getting her. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got her. This is dangerous now. Okay,
Guess what's happening?
so 7 minutes in, there's a full creep wave here. You guys do get the windrunner. You don't get the windrunner. Like at this point, now she's all the way here. At this point, there's nothing you can do. Also, there's a TP coming in here. And to be honest, if I was this guy, let's see his cooldown. 1 second, never mind. What he did was fine. He had a 1 second cooldown left on his spell. He's a support, so what he did is fine, completely fine. But you, as soon as Windrunner went past the point where it would have become a dive, you should have just gone back to farming, regardless of what's happening to this guy.
Okay.
Just gone back to farming,
Let
and
him get the kill and or not.
yeah, or not. Especially when you see a TP coming in, even if you were almost in range of the blink dagger. Sorry, not blink dagger. Stifling dagger. Like let's say you were here and there was like 2 seconds left on your stifling dagger, and you see a TP coming in, just back off immediately. You don't have a vanguard right now. You don't have the items to deal with a dive right now.
Okay.
You have level 1 in blur, so you're gonna take pretty much everything. So this is diving, and the reason why it's so bad for you to dive is because you're a carry, and the mentality of the carry has to be your number one priority is not dying. That's it. Not even farming. Your number one is not dying. Number two is farming. If
Okay.
there's like 200 gold worth of creep wave in the lane, and there's a chance, like there's a 20% chance, 30% chance you might die, don't take it. You have to not die, especially in the early game. It's crucial. So doing these dives, even if it's just a kill. So this is what I actually wanted, because you actually got the kill, because I thought you would actually get the checker kill, but he does end up getting it. So you get. There we go. 102.73. So let's say
And
almost
I
three.
could have died there. I mean that
You,
I
you
did
did.
I did die
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So let's see what happens. So you got 300 gold, 275 gold for the CM kill. You gave away 375 gold. Did I say 375 first time or 275?
I think it was like it was like 270.
Okay, so you took 275 gold. You gave away 375 gold. So already that's not worth it, right? But
Right.
not only that, but you also died. You died means at 7 minutes in was the last time that you actually got a CS. Last time you got farm, and now it's going to be something like 850. A minute and a half of no. A minute and a half is so huge. Every minute there's 500 gold worth of farm coming in and XP coming into the lane. You're missing a minute and a half means you're missing almost 750. Let's see when you actually do come to the lane. You're missing 750 gold worth. That could have been your ring of health.
Yeah.
I mean, ring of health you already have, but that could have been like 3/4 of your way to your what's the other vitality booster? The
Right.
850, roughly 850 is when you actually get the next CS. So it is huge. Dying is huge. Not farming because you were diving. That's just not acceptable for 275 gold. 275 gold is one creep wave. Remember that creep wave that you missed here? That would have been equal to CM's kill right there. But you wouldn't have ended up giving the XP and gold to
To the
Storm
storm.
Spirit. Yeah. So
Gotcha. Do you? So I'm seeing it at a very low frame rate. Is that how you see it?
nope. Let me restart
Okay.
Skype. Let
Oh,
me
it's just no. It's just how it's coming over on Skype, I guess.
yeah. Let me stop and start it again. I will put this on YouTube, so you will see a much clearer version of it uh,
Okay.
when you rewatch it. So, which I recommend you do after like 2 weeks because when you watch it today, everything I tell you, you're gonna remember like 20% of it maybe, and
Mhm.
then if you watch it again, then it's gonna refresh your mind.
Well, I'm
So
taking some notes.
okay, all right, that's good. You're farming. So like right now, there's nobody in your lane, so this would have been an
That's
opportunity.
four to go.
Opportune time to be pushing out the lane and taking the side farm.
Okay.
And in the
Mid
3K
tower
bracket,
could
this
use
is
a
just
little help.
gonna accelerate your farm so much because an enemy carry is not gonna be doing that. So you're just gonna be making gold out of nothing, pretty much.
Right.
The dire went and fortified their
Also,
structures.
pushing out the lane is
Guess
really
what's
good because it
happening
pressures the
down in the
map
bottom
and
tower?
it forces one of them to come to the lane. Because
Dire
if
just couldn't
your
save that bottom tower.
equilibrium is just here all the time, then it leaves Windrunner to go around and do other things. But if it's
Radiant's mid
already
tower
at their
could use a
tower, then they
hand.
have to defend it. So a carry's job is not just not dying and farming, but it's also making pressuring the map when
Right.
possible, when it's safe to do so is the right thing to do. You see what you're doing right now. You pushed out the lane. This is exactly what you did. You just pushed out the lane, and then you're farming the side camp. The only difference is you're actually doing it with the Vanguard, but you can actually do this before a Vanguard if you'd gone for Aquila first, and that's what you should have done. You should have gone for the Aquila first.
Okay.
And also, you can pull this constantly to the creep wave,
Right.
so that you use your own creeps to. Um,
So this Earthshaker, I don't think I ended up getting the kill. I should have, and
let's see.
he was constantly fogging me out.
Oh, okay.
So I guess if you, I don't know if you have any suggestion on how to.
Well, my first suggestion would be again, you should not go on. Obviously, it's really early in the game, but you should not go on the anybody before you click on them and see what they have. He could have had 6 fairy fires for all you know. So you're close to killing him, and he pops a fairy fire. You don't kill him. So even if he has just one or two, that's he might bait you into going in too deep. So definitely click the guy, see what he's got. You need to know, especially if you're like an invis hero. You need to know if he's got a dust or a sentry or a gem or something. So it's really crucial.
Okay.
Okay. See what's going on. I could have cut a tree. Okay, your camera movement is the issue here.
Okay.
You should have been like right now. You see what I'm doing with my mouse. You should have like
I should have been over at that side of the screen.
yeah, yeah. Like right now, it's so difficult to actually even see him, let alone click him. So you definitely missed that because you didn't move your camera correctly, which is like a really minor thing. This should not be happening. If you play Dota for a while, and it's not a big deal because if you play more, it's just a practice thing. It's gonna fix itself. This is not something you can actively change. I don't know.
Top
I don't
tower's
know
getting
because
beat
I've never
down.
actually seen this happen to anybody else because this is just a practice thing. So maybe just try to um, keep your camera on the enemy.
Okay.
You also need to know where you are, which you do with the mini map. But you need to keep your camera on the enemy so you can use your spells effectively.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not a huge deal. You haven't done that so far, just at one point, so it's not a big deal. Right. See what you're doing right now. This is perfect. You're constantly pushing out the lane. You're going to this big camp. Now, what you could have been doing slightly different is after you clear this big camp, you go to this small camp. You clear that small camp, and by that time, your creep wave is in the safe zone. Right now, you're not in the safe zone because let me put the free camera on. This early into the game, you don't want to be like past the river really. You
Right.
do have a Vanguard, and PA is quite tanky with the Vanguard, but you don't know when somebody from here, like right now, you have pretty good vision on the enemy team. So right now, pushing here is perfectly fine. In fact, that's what you should be doing. But let's say you don't see Storm. So standing here, Storm could be coming up from here. He jumps on you, and he's got a huge amount of burst damage. Uh, just one level of static remnant is 220 damage, which is pretty much the extra health that you get from Vanguard. So that's completely out. So
Yeah,
makes you very 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 much
and
less tanky.
he did later in the game. I think you'll see he jumps on me when I was being too aggressive pushing the mid
Okay.
tower.
So that goes on to the same point. Like, you don't want to be farming too aggressively early on into the game when you have no vision. When you're supposed to put a ward up here or here, and so you know where the enemy guy is coming from, then you can do that. Like, this right now is kind of dangerous. You're very lucky nobody TP'd in to help him, because if anybody at all had TP'd in, you would have been pretty much dead.
Yes.
The small thing that does. Let me see if you did check, because okay, so you don't have vision of the enemy team. Actually, when I said you can see Storm, you actually can't. That was just because I had free camera on. So you only see Alchemist and I guess Earthshaker. Okay, so you only see Alchemist and Earthshaker. This farming here is very, very dangerous because a Storm could definitely be here. And now you decide to jump here, so Storm could easily have been here waiting for you, and this could have been a bait. Windrunner shows herself, comes in close, just to make you greedy, and then you jump on her, and immediately Storm blinks in from the back. That happens a lot, and you
Sure.
will get baited by that, and you fall down to very low health. Anybody could have TP'd in here, and you would have died, and Windrunner would have survived. So doing this was very greedy. Um, Going back to what I was saying, pushing out the lane and farming this. So when you farm the big camp, try to farm the small camp here. And if the creeps are past the river, like close to your tower, then you go to the creeps. If they aren't, then you just go here. If they still aren't, then you keep farming the jungle until, obviously, if you end up here and the creeps are near your tower, then you just TP to your tower. That's completely fine.
Okay.
But the small difference is, now this goes for generally for most carries. Now, the small difference with PA is, as soon as you have your Vanguard up, you can potentially take fights if you want. As soon as you have 300 gold, you should have taken the Blightstone first. This is something I missed out because you had a pretty easy lane and you had no kill potential on Windrunner, so you didn't really need a Blightstone. But if you have a Blightstone, right after Brown Boots,
Oh yeah,
so
and it applies on the stifling dagger.
yeah, exactly. And Stifling Dagger does more damage, so it's so good.
Can
Also,
you
it
get the
helps.
Can you get the Blightstone at the side shop or no?
Yeah, you can. You can. So
I discovered while watching Purge's video that you can get the vitality booster at the side shop. I think
okay.
they changed that
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 patches ago, but it's one of those things that I never really learned.
So if I know I'm in a tri lane, you can get the whole Vanguard from the side shop.
Right.
Apart from Circlet and Recipe, you can get the whole, what's it called? Oh, sorry, and also
The Ring of Protection.
Ring of
For
Protection.
Aquila.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for the Aquila. Apart from these things, you can get the entire Vanguard, rest of Aquila, the phase boots, the full thingy, Quelling Blade, and Blightstone from the side shop. So if I know for a guaranteed fact that I have a tri lane and it's going to be just like a Tide or something who's probably just going to go to the jungle, I'm going to make sure I have enough items to not need the courier at all.
Right.
I'm not even going to go for the Quelling Blade or the Stout Shield. I'm just going to have maybe one set of tangos, and then the items for the Ring of Aquila that I can't get from the side shop. But
Okay.
that's probably not, I would not advise you to do. I'm just telling you that you can actually get everything from the side shop.
Oh, so I saw in your game you were doing something that it was like maybe you had a macro setup or something that showed you the attack range of the towers and the spawn radius of the camps.
Oh, yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Oof. Wow, nice, David's. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. In options, you want to check all these.
Shows neutrals. Ah, okay. I will see. That's
Yeah, that's
I feel
huge.
like that's relatively new in the interface.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. It's relatively new because it's been out for a couple of months actually. I think more than 2 months even. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but
Well,
it's
but
been out
that's
for
great.
a little bit.
So I was being a little aggressive here. I think this is where I fed the
Yeah,
storm.
I was just about to say like you the two mistakes here. There's two mistakes. One is obviously that you are it's still pretty fairly early in the game. You just have a vanguard. You are farming very aggressively, but you're farming very aggressively. But the mistakes are you're farming here without having full vision on the enemy team. Like you don't, there's not a team fight breaking out. And if there was, that you should go to it. That's besides the point. But you don't have, or let's say there's not enough observer wards to see the full team. Like you don't see the storm. You see alchemist. I think maybe you see crystal maiden. No, you don't see crystal maiden. So you only see the alchemist and windrunner. That's it. You see two people. One person is dead. So two people are still missing. And you're here farming right underneath the tower. That's one mistake. The second mistake is your team is not there. Your team is not standing right behind you to jump in or save you. So you're all alone, farming very aggressively under a tower when the enemy team is missing.
Dyer's
And
midtown
this is
is
exactly what
critical
happens
hunger.
Yes.
when you do that.
I can't bear
Because
to be seen.
let's say Lich was there, he could have nuked him. The Storm would have thought twice about even coming in if Lich was there. If this guy was there, he would have stunned him. There's anybody from your team would have been
You
there.
blew
Storm
it!
would have thought twice about jumping in because there's 2v1 then.
So should instead of doing
My
that,
mind that
I should have been jungling or I should have
Yes,
been pushing top.
jungling.
Jungling. Okay.
Because right now, uh, you should have had a TP. Do you have a TP? Okay, you do
I
have a TP.
usually do. I that's the one thing I do pretty well is I carry TP pretty
I
consistently.
don't really want to get into too much of when to farm and when to fight right now, unless I see that is a major issue right now. Because so far your team is doing fine. Your team is way ahead in the lead. They don't really need you. If they don't need you, then you don't need to be there. Yeah, then it's better that you farm. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna in this game. I think just farming would have been completely fine. Definitely pushing like this is
Dyer's
you're
top
throwing away
tower
your
is
lead.
down.
The
Yeah,
rest of your team is
that was definitely a mistake.
yeah, yeah. Like you're almost you're close to the alchemist. You're like it's like 1200, 13, 1400 gold difference between you and an alchemist, and that should never happen. Alchemist should be like at least like right now 12k. What does he have? Yeah, not too bad item wise. Okay, let's see.
They
So
did my team was putting some pressure on the alchemist, so
yeah, yeah. Um, when you were under this tower, instead, you should have been farming these. Like I told you, you should have farmed the jungle camps. And when your creep wave from here comes close to the tower, then you TP in here, and then you're still farming safely. And then again, you go back to the jungle and do all of that until you have a desert as well. And then you just stay close to your team and fight with them once you have that. So something looks odd. Why are you so zoomed out? Let's see. Let's try to reset it.
Dyer's
Clear
mid-towers having
perspective. There we
technical
go.
difficulties. No breaking
Now,
through the
once again, you're
Dyer's
doing
structures
exactly the
for
same thing.
now.
This is bad that you actually died the same way. Okay, there you go.
Dyer's
So you
mid-tower
remember you
needs
died
more
there and you
help.
move away.
yeah. Well, after they fought, and I was
Okay.
also trying to help the Knicks possibly get a kill on alchemist.
Pushing towers is great, but you don't need to start right clicking towers to take them because this is just a tier one, and giving your life away for a tier one is definitely not worth it. If you're not doing it very in a safe position. Like if you're an anti-mage or somebody who has like a co-op or somebody who has an escape ability, then that's fine because you can actually easily escape. So it's kind of like split pushing or morphling or something like that. But when you're like a PA, that's very dangerous. And again, you're farming here.
Radiant's bottom
You
tower
don't see
seen
the
better
enemy team.
days.
So again, what you're doing is quite dangerous because your team is not with you. You're pushing. You kind of this is called pushing the tower. I would say you're pushing the tower, and your team is not with you. The enemy team is all missing. So what you're doing right now is still dangerous. Earthshaker can stun you. Storm can jump you. You know,
Radiant's bottom
and
tower is in pretty
Windrunner's
satisfied
not
now.
there at least,
Radiant's toughened
but
up
she
their
just popped up right
structures.
now as well. So and Storm did
And
jump.
I got out here, but just by luck.
Radiant's
Oh, he
bottom
missed.
tower
Two
seen
misses.
better
Three
days.
misses. Okay. Wow, dude, that stun had hit, you were dead.
Yeah,
That
I
is a
was
max stun, yeah.
that was bad play. I was
So
lucky.
let's say you actually died there because that should have been a death.
Yeah,
You were playing again. You were doing the same thing. Just the tier. It's just a tier 1. It's not worth it.
Radiant's mid
It's not
tower's
worth
getting
anything.
banged up.
Because in your bracket, the reason why you'll see in high level matches in pro games that they focus so much on taking towers, especially the mid tower, is because it opens up the map for them. But I bet you nobody's gonna take Roshan for a very long time. Nobody's gonna focus taking Roshan. Nobody's gonna ward up their jungle and camp in their jungle and make sure nobody alchemist doesn't go in their jungle. You're taking the mid tower. You're taking this tower. This jungle is all yours
right.
if you want to take it. But that's not going to happen. So why even bother pushing towers and doing risky things if nobody's actually going to take advantage of that? All right, now you've got
So
Deso.
they said this was like, they said it was actually the Undying suggestion, guys, let's go team fight, we're unbeatable. And then the three of them engaged. Since the Undying was, I was trying to get there as fast as possible, but the Undying was slacking, and by the
Okay.
time Undying and I get there, it's over.
I agree with Undying that you guys are very much stronger. You just got Deso Vanguard. You hit your peak right now. Um, I don't know what everybody else has. Okay, Slark got his Shadow Blade as well. So that's like you guys are very strong right now. You should team fight, but not. This is not team fight. This is asking to get picked off. Three people jump in by themselves. So you should definitely, when you were here, let's see. Um, Obviously, in pubs this doesn't always work, but when Slark is here and these guys are coming, and you should have said like, "I'm not there, guys. Just wait for me." And you guys should have waited for at least
I
you.
think I told them I was on my way, so
Okay, so instead of
not
maybe
much you can do there.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if you say to them like, "Don't go, I'm almost there. Wait for me," and they don't, it's not your fault. It's a pub. What are you gonna do? But you can at least try. But so far, it's not going too bad. The only difference, okay, huge mistake actually. Um, this is the first huge mistake you're gonna make this game. Um, you have the potential to hit people right now,
Hmm.
right? So what you should be doing is deleting people from team fights. Right now, if you look at these 5 people, there's one person you can delete without any effort, and that's CM.
CM, yeah.
So before the team fight even starts, and you should not even jump into the fight until which you actually click CM. I see you clicking CM, and then okay, you see right here, you were clicking CM. You were trying to blink or dagger, whatever,
Yeah,
whichever
and
one.
she managed to stay in the fog in those trees.
Yeah, so what you should have done right here, you should have actually walked in here, or actually, yeah, walked in here. Where's the quelling blade?
I
Oh,
sold it.
okay, you sold it. Never, ever sell your quelling blade until you really have to, because on a right clicking hero, because that's 40% faster jungling taking capability. You
Okay.
farm jungle that 40% faster if you have a quelling blade. Um, if you didn't manage to go on CM and she did turn her ulti on, how did that not work? By the way, you clicked on it right here. Okay. Yeah, you should have just walked up here, and if you had a culling blade, you could have eaten this tree and killed her. But if that doesn't happen, Storm is the last person you want to go on. Storm is not the person you want to go on. You want to go on the next person. You want to
He
go.
was the only person visible.
He was the only person visible. Yeah, I know, but you should have waited then. You should have waited for somebody else to show. Earthshaker is not somebody you want to go on until he uses his at least his fissure,
Yeah.
right? And after you get BKB, the first person you want to go on is Earthshaker. Like right now, you should have changed your targets. I see you keep trying to change your target to okay. How you gonna dive a little bit? Okay, you are. Your camera movement is a bit like you should right here. You should force the camera
refocus
up a little bit.
upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably should have died there if they had been faster with the disable.
You actually played that team fight pretty well. Just apart from going on Storm, instead of jumping on Storm, you should have. If you missed CM, of course, we already stated they should have tried to still go on CM because she's not going to kill you with level 1 ult. No way. You're not going to take more than 300 damage maybe if you just walk up here.
Right.
Secondly, if you see Storm, he's nearly full health as well. It's not even like he's low. You could have clicked him, see how much mana he has. If he has half mana, don't bother. Don't even like put your camera on Storm. Storm is like not even there. If nobody else is visible, you see a TP coming in. You definitely see a TP coming in. So just wait to see who that is and wait for CM maybe, but don't bother going on Storm. You're wasting your time. Not a big deal because nothing really happened. But you potentially missed out on killing CM earlier on because there was a couple of points where she did show herself and you missed that.
Gotcha. Yeah, so if I had held on to the Quelling Blade, I could have killed her.
Oh yeah, that's one thing for sure. But again, you know what? Earlier when I said a huge mistake, I want to take that back because that wasn't a huge mistake simply because you didn't have a Quelling Blade and also nobody else was in vision. So again, a small mistake, which was you jumped in a bit too quickly on Storm. You could have potentially had a couple lucky critical strikes, and you potentially could have killed her if you had killed him if you had a couple lucky critical strikes. But overall, not a bad team fight to be honest.
Yeah, that went reasonably well for me.
Yeah, you escaped as well, so you played that pretty well. Not a bad team fight. You killed this guy. You were focusing constantly on CM, which was a perfect thing to do. To be honest, it's very rare to see a person in the 3K bracket actually know that his target is as a carry. His target is.
Well, what the team fights that PA wins to me are the team fights where you pick off a support and then you pick off another support or squishy person, and then it's just then you can 1v1 and their carry can't man fight you unless they have MKB.
Absolutely. The small thing that changes is after you get a BKB, you want to kill the person who you got a BKB for. If it's an invoker, it's an earthshaker, then you want to kill that earthshaker or invoker or whoever that you got the BKB for. Now with Storm, you're not going to kill Storm until you get an abyssal or at least a basher where he jumps on one of your allies and then you blink him and you hope that in the first 2 or 3 hits he bashes you bash someone, or you get an abyssal and you blink him and you turn BKB on and then you kill him. So Storm is somebody you need to not worry about, to be honest. So I've been talking too much. I actually missed out this team fight, and I missed out another small thing. So let me. Do you know anything about priming?
Priming? Oh, like setting up a crit?
Yes. Yes. Do you?
Yeah, it's not something I've incorporated into my play, but I understand how the pseudo random distribution works.
You need to do that with PA, dude. The reason why I've got an absurd amount of win rate is simply because literally I win every single lane simply because I prime my attacks. I wait for like 7 hits, six or 7 hits without crit, and I don't even care what the situation is. I blink on the offlaner, and 1 or 2 hits, 1 or 2 crits go out immediately, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So you have to, you need to, if you want to take PA to the next level. I know you said you don't play too much, but if you want to take PA to the next level, you need to start priming your attacks. And this is not just PAs; it goes for Juggernaut, Wraith King, all like bash people, what's it called, Slardar and all that, all those heroes. Goes for all of them.
I didn't think about it for the bash heroes, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because with Juggernaut it's 25%. So you can actually just, if you have 4 hits and you don't crit, just go and just hit the offlaner 1 time. It's most likely 1 or 2 times. It's most likely gonna crit, and it's double damage. It's like taking 2 hits. So okay,
yeah, Juggernaut's crit has gotten better and better.
Okay, I was talking about that and I missed. So where were you before you came here? So you came mid, you farmed mid lane, and after you farmed mid lane, you went straight bot?
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
went
okay.
bot and then I TP'd to top.
Okay, so instead of going straight to bot, especially because you know the team fight is not going to happen, Alchemist is here. What you should have done is maybe take out this side camp, this medium camp first, and when
Okay.
while you're taking that medium camp, going here was the better move, obviously. But the right thing to do would have been start taking this medium camp, and as soon as you see like okay, there's a storm, there's an Earthshaker, now you start moving down here.
Gotcha.
But obviously, in this case, it actually worked out. And to be honest, you could have actually kept farming here because the Snark is able to take this guy out pretty easily, and now nothing's happening. So you're
Well, I
wasting. You're
farmed
kind
the
of
Ancients next.
okay. Yeah, that's fine then.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
I don't know if I remember to use Blink. I should have used Blink Strike there.
Because what you did right now is kind of like it. It's good, but maybe in your bracket it's not that good because if you're grouping up too much for team fights, that means you're not far. Because do you feel like in your bracket there's a lot of fighting? Like people are always just running at each other?
It just depends on the game. I mean,
Okay.
there are some games where both teams think, oh, we can win this by farming, and then obviously only one of them can be correct. And most games, yeah, are just very disorganized. Not a lot of
Yeah.
not a lot of intentional team fighting.
Why didn't you guys take Roshan at that time when you killed CM and Storm and run away as well?
Well, yeah, we absolutely should have. I had the Deso, I had the
Yeah.
Vanguard. It would have been
Yeah.
easy peasy.
Definitely. You also have a ward here. So you already have this warded. You have everything you need to take Roshan. Storm just used all his mana to, escape. So he's going to go back all the way here. He's going to regen up, and then maybe he TP's back here. So if he knows that you were taking Rosh, so you definitely had the potential. Go back to farming, which is perfect. Yeah, keep farming, and now there's a team fight breaking out. So you're gonna try to go to the team fight.
It was just so far away, and I
Yeah.
didn't have a blink dagger or anything to get there. So
Yeah.
and they were walking away from me. Just the way it was.
So this is dangerous. They have vision of you, and it's 3v2 right now. Okay, that's fine. Now you jump on perfect.
The sisters of the
That's 4 in a row. 2 down.
you were a
Right.
secret
So you're winning this game very, very, very well. Like you're
Okay,
doing.
so at this point, you've been talking about a BKB.
Yeah.
BKB is not what I went for first.
Dire's bottom
Okay,
tower.
you
guessing-
should have gone for BKB first.
Yeah.
Kill the courier.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was frustrated.
Dire best do something about that
I just
bottom
wasn't
tower.
ready for them.
Yeah, it's okay.
Them dire
BKB is huge because this Alchemist stun is more than Earthshaker really is the Alchemist stun because Alchemist is gonna go for you, most likely, and it's a very very long duration stun. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I just felt like with the Wind Ranger, it's really nice to be able to blow up the Wind Ranger. I mean,
Yeah.
basically that turns Wind Ranger into just not
Okay,
CM.
so you went to MKB was the item after BKB
Okay.
because Alchemist is gonna have some Radiance as well. I think he has Radiance.
Yeah, the Radiance was the other reason.
Yeah.
But BKB stops, I assume,
bottom tower got blown.
the BKB stops the
Yes, it does.
Radiance
Yep.
blind.
Yep.
This point I'm getting scared. I think I'm like, better get out of here.
Now this is perfect team play, dude. You are you sure you're 3.1k?
I mean, that's my MMR, yeah.
6
Okay.
in a row.
I don't think you're gonna be 3.1k for long, for sure.
Okay.
I think maybe just start narrowing your hero pool a little bit. The way you played out this fight was perfect, literally perfect. You
Good.
you saw the. Let's see where the team fight started.
Dire gave up a bottom tower.
The Alchemist was out of position. You went on Alchemist. You got stunned. Obviously, if you had a BKB, this guy was dead. And then this is a dangerous situation. So you moved back to assess the situation. Then you jumped on the guy again. This is perfect. This is exactly what you should be doing.
Well, I the Purge video was very good in terms of like watching his gameplay, and
Right.
you know, he was really in and out and looking for, like, you know, you're acting like an assassin.
Yeah.
You're looking for a target.
Yeah, same goes for this is the same way you play with Slark as well. You want to just keep maxing out on these essence shifts. You just go in, right click. It's dangerous. Go back out. Go back in. You know that's how you.
That's one of the reasons Slark is so good in pubs, because in part because people don't understand how essence shift works, and like don't understand that after he's hit you 20 times,
Yeah,
you can't fight him.
Yeah, you need to get back.
Yeah.
Right, go back to farming. You guys are wasting a lot of precious push power. Like this is again, this comes down to again not your fault in per se. The three of them are dead, which is one of them is their highest net worth person, Alchemist. You 100% should have pushed this tower right now. Earthshaker does not have ult. He just
But
used
we
it.
don't have. We don't. I mean, part of the problem here, I think, like we don't have an urn. We don't have a mech. So I'm at. I mean, I'm at 600 health.
You are tanky enough. You don't need to worry.
Okay.
This guy is full. This guy is gonna get full in a few seconds. At that time they only had two people alive. Earthshaker's not gonna do much except he's gonna throw
So
one
we should
stun out.
have. So we should have pressured the racks and forced out a
definitely-
buyback or something.
They're not gonna buy back, but what is gonna happen is you have 10 seconds until Windrunner comes out to right click the tower a little bit. You can actually you don't need to right click it apart from like every 8 seconds you go in. Like you just need to click it, right click it twice and then move back just to apply the -7 on it on the tower, and then you just stand back, wait for Storm to jump somebody, and then you can harass him a little bit. But you guys should have definitely pressured the tower. And if you're not going to do that, you should at least take
Roshan.
Roshan, because that was
Well, and the Lich and the I should have just taken Roshan with the Slark.
yeah.
I know I
Yeah,
did take Roshan at some point.
You can take Roshan with any 1+1. Lich can give you minus frost armor. You can easily take Rosh with that. You can take Rosh with this guy. He can tank it. So. But you guys take kills and you don't take any objective after that. There's no point taking kills if you're not gonna take an objective after that.
Right.
Dota in the lower brackets is way too much about kills and not enough about winning the game, taking towers, taking Roshan, taking objectives. People think you just kill people and you win the game. That is what it is. But the reason why killing wins you the game is because between you and the towers are those enemies who you kill to get to those towers. But you guys manage to kill those people, but you never get to the tower. So.
And I screwed up there. I shouldn't have tried to save him. Just let him die.
Saving a support as a carry, yeah, that's something you should never do.
Yeah. I could have thrown the dagger, and if that was enough for him to escape, then.
To be honest, with the storm, you don't really want to throw a dagger as well either, because you don't want them to know that you're close by. Doing this move would have been fine if you'd had a BKB.
Right.
Then you potentially kill Earthshaker at least, and then Storm, Lich and Slark were close by. They would have joined as well. But going in without having the right tools, that was a mistake. Not a huge mistake, because you haven't actually done that so far, so it was a one-off kind of. And you see that this is what they killed you. They killed this guy, and then they immediately take a tower.
Well, a tier 1 is a much easier objective than a tier 3.
That's true.
That's what we were faced with. I mean,
that's true, but they took the tier 1 safely, whereas you died once to take the tier 1.
Right.
So that's what I mean. Like, take it when it's safe to do so. When you kill people, when it's you're not worried about getting tanked. So where are you? Okay, you're coming back to me. You go back to farming now. It's 30 minutes into the game. You sort of have all the items you need. Now is the time to just stay close to your team. And if you wanna, if like nothing is happening, then you don't wanna like farm all the way over here, because anytime your team can get initiated on, like just right now, as soon as I started saying that.
How about that?
I want to look back into this fight. So let's go back a few notches more. So right here is when I was saying like you should be with your team. and your two people are going here. This guy's also joining this kind of party over here. Stark is really fast. He'll be back soon. And what ends up happening here, it's to a degree their fault, to a degree your fault. They shouldn't be there without their cores. You shouldn't be at 30 minutes into the game. You shouldn't be farming in the jungle when they're all missing and you guys are gathering up.
Okay.
So you definitely should have been with your team. And this guy is completely idiotic. Everybody's missing, and he's farming on like so far out of the map. So let's say you'd been here waiting with your team. You could have thrown out. You don't actually have BKB, so you probably would have died in that fight.
How about that?
Yeah, not having a BKB, you're pretty much not able to do anything at all. To be honest,
2 down.
Blow the man down.
they have too much stuns. They have way too many stuns. So even if you had been here, you would have. This guy is in smoke. I think this person was out of vision as well. Yeah. So at most you would have jumped Alchemist, and then you would have gotten stunned by Earthshaker and Crystal Maiden, and you would have died actually. So in this point, it actually ends up being good that you weren't there. But obviously, if you had a BKB, then it would have been a different situation. And you could have actually jumped any of them and killed them, preferably Earthshaker. So here is a little bit about your item choices. They get 2 free kills. That's really bad. That is really, really bad.
And then we weren't in a position to fight for a long time.
You can't defend this tier 2. This falls. They get a free tier 2 as well.
Tower's getting banged up.
And you see, this is the same point that I made earlier on. They take 2 kills and they take a free tower. It's the second time they've done it.
Tower could use a hand.
Obviously, you guys can't do anything at all. And not having a BKB for you, it is so huge right now.
So you would say BKB just is the go-to item after
No, definitely not. In this game, yes, because this guy has a 4-second stun.
Everybody on their team has a disable.
Yeah, exactly. Earthshaker can lock you down for the rest of your life. This guy has a pretty decent 3.5 seconds. 3.5 seconds, right? 2.5 seconds stun. This guy can keep you in place for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Holy shit, 3 seconds, I forgot. And this guy can keep you in place for 3.4 seconds, okay, 3.75 seconds. So they can all, it's not a Venji stun, which is just like 1.8 seconds and that's it. You know, they're all huge stuns. They're very long duration stuns. They can all disable you for a very long time. Magic damage is not a big issue. It's the lockdown. And not having a BKB means that you can't actually go on anyone right now. Unless somebody actually initiates, but you don't have a Tide, you don't have an Axe, you don't have a Magnus, nobody in your team can actually initiate. So whoever goes in first will get locked down and will die. So
unless they have a BKB.
Unless they have a BKB, exactly. So this is this unfortunate situation you're in right now, and this guy is the one who goes in, and let's see, he gets immediately 2, 3, 4. He takes 4 stuns. I'm just looking at this guy right now, and he survives. So he's taken all the stuns. He's survived, which is a huge deal. And this is the opportunity for you to jump in as soon as he comes and gets all the stuns. Why is this? Okay, perfect. So let's see if you actually do go in after he comes in and takes all the stuns. Okay, he starts getting stunned. Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect. But you do get stunned as well once. Nice, nice. And now you guys go on Alchemist. Alright, perfect. So, over here, the team fight here, maybe small chance that it could have been different if you had been there. I'm not sure, because you do have, you know to go on the right target.
Right.
The regular 3K person would definitely, when he saw Alchemist, he would have jumped Alchemist. As soon as you jump Alchemist, Earthshaker stuns you, Crystal Maiden stuns you, this guy stuns you, you're dead. So maybe if you had been there, maybe you would have actually waited for them to stun this guy, because in this team fight, I don't know if I can go all the way back there or not. Because if you notice in that team fight, the guy actually survived after taking all the stuns there as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah,
Although
so
he has
died.
Ags, right? Ag's Undying is pretty
Oh
tanky for
yeah, 10
this
health.
stage of the game.
Yeah. So he's still alive. So for sure you would have potentially waited to go on Urshik or CM in the back lines and kill them. In this fight could potentially have been different even without a BKB. Yeah, right here even, but of course Slark isn't here, so that's again slightly different. And Nyx was blown out. So anyway,
Okay, so I think
but
after we
my
after
point here, let me just quickly say, my point here was that after a certain time in the game, when it's late game, and that's really not a time, that's a feeling. When like everybody's starting to 5-man, that's the time you need to 5-man. If you don't have an item that you need, then you need to tell your teammates that I need this item, so stay with me, close to me, don't engage, so I can farm this item. If that doesn't work out, then just stay with your team. There's no point, just going on farming and get your team killed, and then this happens where they take a free rack. So yeah, go on. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just talking about what we did after we killed them. I was pinging out the Roche. I think that's what we did next.
Okay. Storm escapes. That's fine.
Storm always escapes.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen until one of you gets a BK basher. He didn't even go for bash. That's sad. When I see a storm and I'm Slark, I always go for um, uh, Shadowblade and then a Orchid against Storm and Cop.
Yeah, Orchid is solid on Slark. A lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, you made a mistake here. You came. Oh, okay. So the small mistake that you made was you abandoned your team once again. I know you came to Roche, which was the right thing to do, but you kind of abandoned your team there. You shouldn't have done that. You should have gone with your team. A small, very, very small mistake. It's a pub. It's not a big mistake.
Okay.
It's really tough in a pub because obviously nobody wants to communicate. Nobody wants to, you know, do what anybody else is saying. They just want to do whatever they want to do, and usually that's farming. So it's tough.
Yeah, that's a consistent problem I have. Even in
Yeah.
people will not communicate. They literally refuse to communicate about hero
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah.
I will try to ask, like, are you, do you want safe lane? Do you want a support? Do you want carry?
Yeah. Yeah.
People will not answer, even when there's nothing else going on. It amazes me. But
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
Right, now you guys should gather up. You have Aegis, you should gather up and take either mid tower or top tower, and you should put a ward up here, like on this high ground.
I daggered him, which was a huge mistake. Well, not a huge mistake, but a mistake.
Why?
Because it reveals our ward for no gain.
Ah, yeah, okay. I mean, they're
shows
not
them-
gonna deward it. DK
I don't
back,
know,
they're not
maybe,
gonna
but-
deward it. And actually, even if right now you guys want to be pushing this tower anyway, so if somebody does come to deward it, good job because you're gonna kill him.
Yeah,
But you're not gathering up. I mean,
18 in a row.
Nyx was doing that a lot, and that, like, he was sitting there
Yeah.
farming lane by himself, and
yeah. And Storm has Orchid, so Storm is just gonna kill Nyx every time he sees him.
yeah. he didn't-
This
he
is
didn't
too
learn
much
his lesson.
this is too much time being wasted. To be honest, you're
But,
gonna lose
what
Aegis.
should we do? Should we be
Pushing.
4v5ing?
I mean, now Nyx is dead, so no, you can't. You don't want to do that. But when Nyx was alive, then definitely, yeah, you guys should be pushing. And now you guys should obviously push out this lane, but should be all together. Like this guy, he can't kill Storm, and the rest of the team is here. You can actually see him because you guys have a ward here, so you should be all together.
Yeah.
Maybe even 4-man smoke and go here because you did have a ward. You do have a ward here, and you see 2-3 people here. So 4-man gank would have been fine. You constantly see Storm, and Storm is around here. You saw Alchemist around here. When you smoked, you guys should have gone here and just like this right now. What you're doing, this is fine. But this guy should be here, not like this, not 3 people, because now one of you might die, and one of you is going to die, and that's going to be Lich. And that just
Yep.
did not need to happen. That shouldn't have happened. If Sark had been with you, that wouldn't have happened, most likely.
Somebody's on a roll.
But you still have so much more damage that you're completely wrecking Alchemist. Oh god, you could have killed Alchemist.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Oh my god, that lucky crit. Oh my god, okay.
The Dire might want to mine.
Not a huge mistake. You should have killed Alchemist first. I think you saw Slark was killing him, so you decided to go on Storm.
Yeah.
I think you definitely should have killed Alchemist first because the Radiance is way too
The
much. for Storm.
regen too.
Yeah, the regen and the Radiance burn because even if you do jumps Storm, there's it's Dota 15%, 17% means 100%. So
Yeah.
you're gonna miss way too many hits. It's just not worth it. Okay, now you have BKB, so now it's gonna be, now the game is on.
Yeah.
So you should be taking out either Earthshaker or Alchemist at the start of the fight. If you see Alchemist first, go kill Alchemist. If you see Earthshaker first, go kill Earthshaker. They're both high priority targets for you. CM is a meh. After you kill Earthshaker or Alchemist, then you go on CM. Because CM you just kill in 1 or 2 hits. You just
Right,
need to
she's
blink.
easy.
Yeah, you just need to blink kick her and she's dead. So BKB is kind of wasted on CM. So I hope you don't use BKB to kill CM.
I didn't make any good use of my BKB, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I think the game-ending mistake is coming up.
So far, you haven't made any huge mistakes. In fact, you've played team fights extremely well. I would say you're the best thing. Your strong suit here is team fights as a carry, and that's a big mistake.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. I buy back here, but it's not enough. I can't TP because I already TP'd.
Yeah. You know what? I was just about to say when I was finished saying that your strong suit is team fights. I was just about to say your weak part is map awareness and pushing when you don't have vision, and you did exactly that. You were there defending a tower. The enemy team was all missing, and you guys had no wards here. So that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, it's quite unfortunate. They could have been here, all 5, or here, all 5, but they ended up being here where you guys were. So it's really unfortunate.
Have fun trying to pop that radiation.
But it wasn't just bad luck. I mean, I could have gotten my I could have not gone in. I could have been more cautious about it. I could have been better about my BKB.
No, you guys should have known that they could be here because you have no vision on them, and this is the same thing that you did earlier on, where you were pushing without vision, without like when the enemy team is all missing. The only difference is here your team was at least with you, so you all made that mistake together.
And that was game ending because they took a second lane of racks and it was
You guys,
immature.
you guys don't even need wards here. You should wait for Nyx or Slark to, Nyx actually to go forward and get some vision of the map around here, get vision of the enemy team or something like that. But that didn't happen. And they won this team fight because they were able to kill you before the team fight started, and that's pretty much
Me
it.
and the Undying together. I think.
Well,
with this guy.
Undying is kind of a tank, and at this point, you're pretty tanky. Slark is pretty tanky. Even Lich is fairly tanky. Nyx can delay for a while as well with his spiked carapace. So Undying is okay. If he dies first, that's fine. He has to die first, but killing you was a big thing that won them this team fight. Actually,
Yeah.
is you're bigger damage dealer than Slark is. I mean, you're the biggest damage dealer in their team. And of course, this is not a big mistake now because the game is kind of over. So
I didn't think letting them take a second lane of Rex was a survivable thing anyway. So
yeah, no, I mean, you get lucky, you get 1 or 2 crits. I don't know, a miracle happens, and you somehow defend this. But in all honesty, the game is over at this point. That team fight, the game was over.
Yeah, and it ends pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's
So
I think 2 more minutes.
I would say just one big mistake, and that was the item choice. BKB was required before MKB. also because you get in that 10-second or 9-second or 8-second, whatever the second it is on, at that time you do get the MKB effects as well. So you do get a long duration MKB when you have
Well,
BKB.
just for the radiance though.
They keep changing this shit. I don't remember because before, if you turn BKB on, you could kill PA or Windrunner or everything. You'd
No,
have True
no.
Strike, but I think they removed it now.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay, I'll have to check that because before it did give you True Strike. Maybe it doesn't give you True Strike now. But yeah, at least it's you don't have to kill Windrunner. You can kill Alchemist or Windrunner isn't even your target. Your target is Earthshaker or Alchemist
Right.
after you have BKB. So it's not even like you have to worry about uh, MKB at that point. So going for MKB over BKB, big mistake. And then of course, second big mistake is farming or going without vision. Going in without vision. Let your team be there. You should stand in the back lines.
Yeah, because you have such excellent engagement range.
Yeah, you have excellent engagement range, and also you don't want to be the first one in. You don't want to risk dying first or early. You want to jump in and then pop your BKB so that you're safe for the duration of the BKB, and you're deleting people. Hopefully, in that BKB duration, you kill 2 people, and that's a game-winning movement right there. So, to be honest, you will be climbing MMR really, really quickly. You didn't make too many huge mistakes. There are levels of mistake making or improvement. Um, in 3K, in the lower 3K bracket, usually the biggest mistake is not farming properly or farming too much. Farming issues and team fighting issues. But you kind of have both of them cleared. And item choices is more around the 4K mark, so you should be easily climbing at least up to 3.9K quite easily. And then the next phase, what you're experiencing right now, is the item choices issue, which is quite complex. Which item to buy, which not to buy. It's kind of like a whole hour discussion on its own. This game, you kind of saw yourself that BKB would have changed every team fight from that mid team fight where you were farming and the Undying and the Nyx died. If you'd had a BKB right then, that would have been a completely different team fight. You guys would have won that team fight, and maybe you guys take Rosh, maybe you take mid tower, but you definitely win every team fight. At least the next 3 team fights after that. So you need to focus more on your item builds. Don't go greedy. Don't be greedy. MKB was a greedy item. BKB was a safe item.
Okay, I'm just taking
Yeah,
notes. Sorry.
yeah. And to be honest, on PA, Vanguard, Deso, and then BKB should be your go-to item as long as the enemy team has several disables. If they have just one disable, then what you need to do is every team fight you need to just wait out that one disable and then just jump in. Like if they have a tide and that's the only stun they have, then you just wait for tide initiation. As soon as you see tide initiation, just blink on whoever you want, and that's just the target you want to, and just kill that person. So because
Great.
you're safe then, so you don't need BKB, but definitely third item should be BKB.
Okay.
What was your shoes? Yeah, Facebook. That's fine. So yeah, so you definitely could have won this game if you'd itemized a bit differently. And I think the item BKB would have alone won you the game. Nothing else. Like even if you were farming dangerously, that's still that wasn't that huge a mistake. It was the BKB that was the huge mistake. And the bottom team fight was obviously the vision thing, but by that time it was kind of already quite late. So
Yeah, we were in dire straits at that point, and
yeah,
that was the critical.
yeah, that was a critical team fight. That was the point. So you have questions. This is the time for questions.
I guess what would I mean if I'm interested in so I guess one of the things I like supporting, I like carrying. I don't always like supporting or always carrying.
Okay.
But at what is the best sort of like I don't know. I've tried various strategies for like I'm gonna stubbornly pick a carry versus I'll pick, whatever the team needs versus so you would recommend sort of just focusing on a hero pool?
Definitely. If you want to learn, if you want to just gain MMR, there's two different ways to go about it. If you just want to gain MMR, then you need to. Uh, okay, actually, there's two different ways in that as well. If you want to learn a hero, then you just need to spam that hero and preferably first pick it. Because what's going to happen then is if you first pick PA, most likely there's going to be more than one counter in the enemy team. They're going to immediately see PA. They're going to be like, oh, okay, we're just going to go for Slark or any Shadowblade hero or Stuns hero or something like that that can deal with PA. Or if you pick, whatever hero you're trying to learn, like if you pick Wraith King at the start, I can guarantee you there's going to be a anti mage or a invoker or anything with a mana drain, which is hard for Wraith King to deal with, and that's how you learn how to play your hero against a counter.
Interesting. So you
Right?
invite the counter.
Definitely, yeah. You need to learn how to like if you like when Vagamama is Vagamama.
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay, so he is like he spams TA a lot. He's one of the best TA players out there. He's got like 300 plus games on TA or some ridiculous amount, more than 300 actually. And he to learn TA, he first picked TA every time. So he played TA against Viper. He played TA against Cop, which are both really really hard counters. And now he knows exactly how to deal with those people if he does get them in the game. Now he probably if he is in a regular game, he probably doesn't want to pick TA first. He wants to give himself the best chance. But he knows if he does get that counter, he knows exactly how to play against it because he's played that matchup so many times. He's played against Cop. He knows, okay, one game, let's go in and say, I'm going to go for a meld first spell. Oh, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work. Second game, let's go for, a reflection first. It kind of iffy worked out. I'm gonna keep doing this. So you do it 3 4 times. After the fourth time, you kind of realize it's still not strong. You try the third spell. You like realize, okay, this is better than the other thing. So you keep experimenting different items, different builds. Like this game, this was excellent learning for you because you went MKB. You thought there was like Windrunner, there was Radiance, so you went MKB. It didn't work out. Perfect learning thing for you because you realized that MKB did not work out as your third item. BKB would have been better. So the next game you go in, before you make your third item, you will think, do I need a BKB extremely urgently or not? And if you think that you do, learning from this game, then you will make a BKB. So yeah, definitely, if you want to learn a hero, you need to spam that hero first pick. But that's when you want to learn. If you want to raise MMR, then there's two ways to go about it. You need to, if let's say you want to spam PA and you want to raise MMR, then you obviously don't want to pick it first, but you want to mark bottom and you want to say I'm going to play carry PA, right? So hopefully the your team picks according to PA carry, and even if enemy team picks counters to PA, you still pick PA. You still want to keep spamming that because it goes to the same logic that you will know by that time how to play against counters. And the other way is that you just wait till third or fourth pick or fifth pick and just pick what the team needs. Now that is something I would definitely not recommend to you because you need to have like a 40 plus hero pool, which each of them you should be able to play at your 3K level, which is not always the case. For example, with me, I can play all heroes, but let's say Elder Titan, I probably play at, I don't know, 3.5K skill level, you know?
Right.
So just
Yeah.
because you know how to move the hero about and click the spell buttons doesn't mean you know how to play that hero, you know?
No. I
So,
I know like I couldn't play. I'm not good with the micro heavy heroes like I'm not, Meepo or Visage
yeah.
or um
Yeah, I actually never play Visage either. I have no idea how to maneuver with Visage. I'm really actually that's probably because I'm old now, so I'm slow with the multitasking. But yeah, you need to be honest to yourself and be like, yeah, I can't play this hero. There's no shame in it. Nobody can play all these heroes except unless you're a miracle, maybe. But it's unrealistic to expect yourself to play all heroes.
right.
I've played him 7 times apparently. But yeah, so those are a couple of ways that you can go about. I think in your for you definitely um, try to gain MMR because you will. I can guarantee that. And have if you're playing carry, if you like playing carry and support, which is perfect because that's the bottom lane, that's the carry lane every single time. Then you should have like four supports and four carries that you want
Okay.
to play only, and you only want to play those carries. And try to pick those four carries which are completely different to each other. So pick one carry which you want to pick when you know for a fact that you're going to have lots of space. So let's say you're picking third or fourth, and there's a co-op mid and there's a dark seer top, and like you know that for a fact that there's going to be lots of space for you to farm. So you can like pick something like maybe Sven, maybe Terrorblade, whichever farm intensive or Spectre or Anti Mage, whichever farm intensive hero that you do play. And the other hero you want to pick is some a carry who is good with the early game, who doesn't need a lot of farm, who can be active immediately, completely opposite to Sven or that farming hero. So that can be Juggernaut, that can be Gyro, something like Gyro, probably not because he's not very good in the meta right now. So you want to look at the heroes which are in the meta as well, along with those things. So
Right.
Sven, Juggernaut, and then another one I like here is Ursa because he's got very very good objective taking capabilities. And then you want to have a hero somewhere in the middle who farms a little bit, who can fight early on as well. Something like Luna. Depends on what you are comfortable doing. Actually, PA is really good in there as well in that bracket as well because she farms a little bit, but she can fight early on as well. So